That's life. What's up with that?
Let's Man, bro, when I tell you, it was off of being sick, driving out there with the U-Haul, going to get it, coming back with it, and then having to like take up what I think 2 pieces. It's like one of those L-shaped sections.
Yeah.
I bought a dolly or rented it from U-Haul, and that dude, it was so heavy. The dolly was heavy to the point where I was like, I can't take the shit upstairs. I tried, and I was struggling, like knees weak, shaking and shit.
Knees
like
weak, arms heavy.
Yeah, knees weak, arms heavy, and like feeling like a noodle. Plus, I'm still sick, so I'm not even at full strength. And I got the first one up with the dolly, like just pulling it, like stair by stair. Then the second one, I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm not doing this again. I flipped this shit up the stairs, like just literally like just imagine like a fucking cartwheeling upstairs with a big ass sectional, and it was actually easier than the dolly. It was like, so I was just like, bruh, this is insane. I'm mad as fuck because I gotta do this alone, but
call me next time.
Yeah,
call me next time.
And it was a weird day. It was like one of my off days, like a Wednesday, and I knew you were at work because I had like a very short window to get everything done.
Well, that's cool. You got it for free though.
Oh yeah, that's what made the struggle worth it. Like if anything, like persevering through it all is like now I have something that's also super comfortable. I can lay on that just as much as I lay on my bed. You know what I'm saying? And then now when I have people over, it's like, all right, everybody can be comfortable for the most part. Very, very comfortable. So that's cool, man.
I've been to that point moving where you're just like, fuck it, just get it up or down the stairs. Fucking drag it, whatever you gotta do.
Any way possible. Any way possible. And yeah, it's pretty big, dude. I think I have a picture of it. But outside of that, home renovations here and there, you know, on the second paycheck after the first one takes care of the bills. It's like, okay, I can get a little here and there stuff. So, what was it, 2 weekends ago, me and my girl, we went shopping for vinyls.
I saw that.
Yeah, bro. That was like one of the coolest days I've had in a while because we went to Josie Records right off 635.
That's right by where me and Connor and the band, we all practice right over there.
Oh, nice.
There's a studio right across the highway. Right?
Really? Oh, cool.
It's like, I think it's, Josie's like right here and the studio's like they're right by each other.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, so they were having a sale going on that weekend. So all the new vinyl was 10% off and all the used vinyl was 25% off. And I had this whole idea, because I did it a few cribs ago, where like 1 to 2 walls is going to be just full of vinyl and then like the artwork from it. And then there's going to be, you know, a couple other things on other walls. So between that, just trying to research a little stuff. We went to IKEA, and I can't tell you the last time I've been to IKEA.
I've never been to IKEA.
Yeah, bro.
Honestly.
It's one of those random stores like Nebraska Furniture Mart I would never fucking go to because I wouldn't know how to navigate that shit. You know, it's like some of my parents do.
That's another one I've never been to. It's just a massive fucking store.
It's huge.
Like I've never been to.
It's a huge store. So it was cool. We kind of got lost in IKEA. And, you know, got some blackout curtains for the crib, stuff like that, you know. Honestly, bro, like, I feel like lately I've just been adulting more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking a break from going outside, taking a break from interacting, even just posting and staying consistent on social media. It's just like, I'm good on that for now, you know?
I feel that, dude. I feel like I've been too in it lately.
Yeah.
I just need a break. And it sucks because like summer's starting and that's when everyone like hits the gas pedal.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been hitting the gas for months. Like,
yeah, dude, I'm acting like myself in the winter right now. Like,
yeah. I feel like I need a break and like, I don't know.
It's good though. I would say it's good to cleanse for a little bit, bro. Like I had to uninstall certain apps or just put them in a deep sleep so where like I don't get notifications from them and shit like that. Because for me nowadays is like I have to have something to post. Or have to have something to promote if I even feel like uploading shit. I don't want to monetize off my personal life. I don't want to do a day-to-day Unless I'm like working on some shit.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
different.
I mean?
That's different.
It's different. If I
But
got
if
a project going, then it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like I want to, promote this week, or even create a post that's gonna post 3 days from now
Mm-hmm.
at 11 a.m. because it's strategic. Outside of that, like that's cool. I think I did that. I was more on in social media when I was single, or like still had my bachelor pad, and then like my girl was,
You had more time.
yeah, I had way more time.
Yeah, you just had more time.
To fill in the gaps with shit like that. But now it's like,
I feel the same way though, man. Like, I gotta have something to post because I hate posting old shit. I've got like just a treasure trove of gold that I could just post, but I hate posting old shit, dude. I just something about it. I don't know.
I was about to say, what is the ick behind it?
I don't know. I feel like it's we're constantly putting out episodes, so I feel like it's a step back when I could be highlighting something from this week.
Right.
So I'm like, there's always such good shit, like this little nuggets coming out of like things that we do, and then so it's like I don't want to waste time backpedaling when we should be hitting the gas going this way, because look at all this,
Right.
So it's like I even thought about making like a whole nother like
Channel?
archive channel, like an Instagram thing, but I was like, man, I got 3 Instagrams already growing. Like I don't.
You have 3?
Well, for the smoking gun one.
Oh God!
Yeah, I ran that one too.
Oh my God! And
What's
you
up
ran
with
the
that?
social media
Yeah.
too.
And then my personal one. Yeah. Yeah, I was doing all their social too.
Wow.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know. Instagram I feel like it's slowed down a little bit as far as like interaction on like reels and shit. I don't know if that's because more people just go into shorts or.
I think it's like a couple things. So the algorithm for Instagram updates, and it's based off of how much interaction you interact with other people, right? But for me personally, I noticed that like less comments I get, less interaction. Less views I get, less interaction. And even when I post something that's super dope, only certain people are going to see it if I have already interacted with them. Then it might show up at the beginning of the story versus like you swipe over 2 or 3 times and then you might see it.
Then you see it, yeah.
And that's only 24 hours to see that. And that person probably follows 4,000 accounts.
Yeah.
So it's like...
like when I open up my Instagram, it's usually you first, and then like... I don't know, like Thrasher or some other guitar thing,
Joints that you probably click on.
Yeah, things that I go to.
See it.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just like, bro, why am I... Unless you pay to promote yourself, I don't even understand the point of trying to
anyone,
stay in it.
I was talking about this with somebody. Is anyone like doing the blue check, like taking that seriously anymore?
I don't think so. Not that... Because it's not exclusive anymore.
Yeah, it's anyone can attain it, so it's like, why take it seriously?
Yeah, it just takes an ID and a little payment.
Yeah.
And it don't matter how many followers you have. You could not have even a legit profile, and still it's like. So I don't think people look at it like it doesn't hold the same weight when you go on your story and you see a blue check from someone and it pops. It doesn't have the same flair. It doesn't, and I'm kind of glad about that, honestly, because. Yeah, exclusivity is cool, but it's just another internet flex,
Dude, I don't know why this just reminded me, but did you hear about Elon wanting to ban Apple phones from all of his companies?
No.
Yeah, he said if you have an Apple device, it's not allowed inside my company, and it'll have to stay outside in like a Faraday cage.
Really?
Because Apple's talking about implementing ChatGPT AI software into their iOS.
Oh, no.
So if you put it into the operating system, you can't control it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't even open up an iPhone. So naturally, there's going to be a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's one. I never owned an iPhone, bro.
So it's got me thinking. I'm like, is it time to make the change? Because like I've had an iPhone for like, I don't know, 7 years now.
Really?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna maybe get a Galaxy or something.
I personally would only use iPhone for the camera capabilities.
That's the thing, dude. Is like I do so much content and camera and like footage and just I see how when I send you stuff sometimes it comes to you blurry and I'm like I can't do that.
Yeah,
I just can't have that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely one of those things where I think they created a monopoly around visual presentation when it comes to like the whole spectrum of mobile phones, because naturally if you say, okay, this camera quality is more superior than this camera quality, and everybody floats to that, what better way to even show you that they're like Android is shittier than, oh, when I send you a photo it comes out grainy. It's because your processing in your fucking phone is trash. But me personally, like, that's it. Outside of that, functionality wise, being able to customize your phone to a certain degree, like all that stuff goes out the window with iPhones. So I've never really been sold.
I mean, I see the stuff that you do on your phone. It's incredible. Producing whole albums and shit, you know, mixing and mastering.
Hey, I mean, a part of it was just by force. Like, I
had to.
I had no other option. And it's like, if you want to skate, you're going to figure out a way to skate. True. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you'll find a board somewhere.
Somewhere. And you're going to find some random trucks. You're going to find some random wheels. You're going to put that bitch together. And that's how I took mobile production, because it was just like, I didn't have a laptop. I was broke. And I still wanted to create because that itch was there, you know? And I'm in a completely different environment. So what the fuck else am I going to do?
Right. I would do the same thing, dude.
Hey, bro, I was losing my mind in Rockwall. Oh, my God. The closest thing to civilization was a gas station. It was like a mom and pop gas station. You know what I'm saying? Lady smoking cigarettes inside, just chilling. Everybody knows them when they walk in, like, type shit. Man.
When's the last time you saw somebody smoke inside? I was thinking about this the other day.
Last year around winter, I went to this old school restaurant by the Galleria, by your old crib actually. Okay. And there was like burger and fry joint, couple little slot machines, couple little, you know what I mean, gambling spots. And the hostess was sorry, not the hostess, a patron that was eating there. She was sitting by the window just smoking, ashtray there. It was like I got teleported.
That's such a trip, dude. Yeah, I remember just like walking into restaurants and it just smelling like cigarettes, you know. Oh, yeah. And they'd always do like smoking or non-smoking, like it mattered.
Bro, you remember the smoking non-smoking section? Oh
as
my
if it mattered.
God.
Like,
right, because it's an enclosed environment, so like we all getting a little bit of secondhand.
Everybody.
There's gonna be a little bit of nicotine in that state.
I remember going to Chili's, like the one there in Rockwall, and then left and right.
Right off of 30.
Yeah, that one right there.
I feel like when I think of non-smoking smoking section, I think of Applebee's.
Yeah, shit like that, right? Like
IHOP.
Chains.
Yeah. Waffle House, dude. I feel like
they probably still let you.
They still have to say.
They probably don't give a shit.
I feel like certain Waffle Houses are the Wild Wild West, bro.
There might be one a cook back there smoking while he's making
easily.
Yeah.
And he's cool as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to do his thing. But yeah, what an era, what a time, man. And between that, all right, so let me just ask you this, because we haven't seen each other since Light That dropped, which is insane, because it feels like from the time that song dropped to the time all the Drake and Kendrick Lamar, I'm going to have to stay on this forever because I'm Drake and Kendrick Lamar'd out. Like, I probably ingested way more.
It's all settled now, right? Like
the storm is over.
Like,
yeah. But, dude, in that time period, I've never seen the internet, like, react so crazy and everybody talking about the same thing consistently. Like there were breakdowns on the verse the day after it dropped.
That's what tripped me out, is how fast people were putting content out.
It made me feel like I turtle, like, because I wanted to, you know, like, all right, emergency pod, let's do this. But then at one point I was like, okay, if we're all talking about the same thing, let me back up a little bit versus try to jump on it and just assess.
That's how I felt.
What everybody's saying.
I felt like it was getting saturated, and I didn't have the best things to say about it. I'm not the best, like, go to like a lyrical opinion or like a reaction channel. Like, it's not really my thing to speak on a thing, but it was definitely entertaining.
Oh my God.
You know, and it definitely had everybody like watching, and I mean, BBL Drizzy, like, I mean, it's hilarious, dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it
was a trip.
It was a very exciting weekend for me, to say the least. And it was a weekend I didn't have to work. So I remember being up the night Euphoria dropped.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a Drake fan for real like that, like, especially nowadays Drake. But when Push Ups dropped, it was like, okay, this is cool, but this is not going to do it, you know? and then Euphoria dropped right when I think he did Family Matters. That's what he stepped on, Family Matters. So it was one of those things where I was just like, Family Matters drops, and this is egging on Kendrick to drop. And then within the same, not even 10 hours, I would say it was about an hour or two, Kendrick drops. And I'm up playing Elden Ring. Girls in the fucking bed sleep.
He dropped that hours after Drake did? No.
Yeah.
That's a little sus, isn't it?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think it plays into the narrative because Drake is saying, "Oh, nobody fucks with you. You're a one trick pony, whatever," and also antagonizing his family and all this other stuff, and thinking like he's playing the internet games like Kendrick was saying, like trolling them online. The Kendrick is gonna drop button, all that extra shit on Instagram, and Kendrick is not a social media type of person, so naturally it's like. That's why he has this mystique about him, right? But what I think Drake miscalculated his opponent and his star power versus artistic like ability. Artistic lyrical ability, star power. Those are almost two different worlds.
Yeah, they are.
Because one is about the flair and the looks, the other one's about the details. All the little details. And that's what I think people got invigorated by during this whole entire battle. It's like, bro, like you're doing all the dancey shit, but this guy's dismantling you bar for bar. And it's like, and then we have the ability to repeat it whenever we want. I think like made it even more exciting is like in the 90s you had to go to the radio to hear disses. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to go to like mixtapes to hear disses, and those mixtapes were only accessible via hand-to-hand or eventually a blog site later on. But we got to see the shit in real time play out, and that's what made it like, oh my God, what's gonna happen next? Oh, like it was crazy.
It's crazy to see how just how talented those guys are.
Oh yeah.
To put shit out that fast, and the engineers behind all that too, like.
Very important.
It's crazy, dude, when you think about it, like logistically.
Were you ever a J. Cole fan?
I respect J. Cole for his lyricism, but I'm not like a fan. Like I've got some songs on my iPhone, but like I don't know. I'm not like a fan.
It's not to put you on the spot at all. I realized how much of a fan I wasn't. Like I never really. And this is not to shit on J. Cole, by the way. Shout outs to you, bro. But I wasn't even like mad that he pulled out of the race. You know what I'm saying? Like
I almost forgot he was in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was just like, I mean, because certain people are great lyrically and can have that aggression and all that, but like when it comes to war, bro, I don't think certain people are even meant to be in that zone.
No, you're totally right about him.
Yeah, and I never listened to him for that. I listened to him because personally I like J. Cole as a producer. Like he produced a lot of his shit, especially in the early beginning before he got signed to Jay-Z. So I was always interested in his style of producing. Then he was a lyrical rapper on top of that. So now you're giving me the best of both worlds. But I never was like I know his catalog or this album is, I rate this album or this, that. I never got that deep into it, and maybe it was because of like time period wise, like there were certain people that, in my opinion, I was focusing on way more.
I think the same.
And in that time period he came out.
I always think of his album though, the one where he's sitting on the roof.
Forest Hills Drive.
Yeah, that one always seems to be like regarded as his best one. Yeah. Or his best work.
Yeah, that was like mature, older J. Cole before I think the dreadlock phase came in. Before super earthy J. Cole.
Yeah. Now he's all naturalist, right?
Yeah. That man went through a couple Pokemon evolutions in rap, personally. But yeah, man, it was interesting to see it. And granted, like I think, especially as Americans, blood sport is like something we like, right? So naturally, like when it comes to drama or conflict, people feed into that way more. And that's another thing. J. Cole has never been, in my opinion, the drama conflict dude. You don't hear shit about what the fuck he doing besides riding his bike around New York and, jumping around with Dreamville and all them. And he has a dope squad. Like he's leveled up to the point where he's big bro to like the new generation of rappers from JID, Earth Gang.
Right. He did kind of take them under his wing.
Yeah. They're all in his squad, in his camp. So it's like, I get it, you know, like you got all these other people to deal with and worry about. Like you kind of just here to show they show people you still got it.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think about M's new song though?
Houdini.
Yeah. I feel like M.
I could watch Houdini on mute and probably be more entertained by the
He
song
makes great music videos. You can't deny it.
than the actual lyrics.
You can't deny that.
The chorus felt kind of cheesy and outdated.
That's how I felt.
I felt like I got transported to 2005, 2006, and it's just with like 2024 camera quality. You know what I'm saying? And editing, because I don't know. I get it. Like comedian Eminem versus like I'm super lyrical miracle, all that Eminem. I think that's what made his career pop in the beginning. So naturally, he wanted to teleport back to the old Slim Shady and say, "This is the depth of the old Slim Shady. This is who I am now," which is cool. But don't do it in a singy, chorusy. You know what I mean? That's just me personally. Like I would never listen to that song again. I listened to it one time, studied the whole thing from top to bottom, and I probably listened to a couple reactions just to see if I wasn't tripping. And everybody had the same consensus.
I think it's just crazy how like everyone was tripping on the Megan Thee Stallion line.
Oh yeah.
Saying how it was just like over the line. Like how could you even say that? Like that's so mild for like.
Eminem has said way worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's so mild for him to say. You think I'd have a shot at a feat?
Right.
What the fuck?
It's not even
about like he's talking about like murdering his mom. Like,
bruh.
He's got songs called like
The Eminem Show, the Marshall Mathers LP. The Marshall Mathers LP, in my opinion,
that one's
like,
vulgar.
That is fucking dark, bro.
That's before he like really became like Slim Shady.
Yeah.
You know, he was still Marshall Mathers and like at 8 Mile, still in Detroit.
That was before Dre polished him up.
Yeah.
So,
bro, I heard that. I saw a little clip the other day on Instagram or some shit. You know, my name is. They wrote that in like 5 minutes, and it was one of the first tracks they did together.
Really?
Yeah. Dre just put on the hook, or put on the beat rather, and M just started going. My name is.
What?
One of those like. Get in the fucking booth, like what the fuck? You know, it's like one of those moments.
Wow. I mean, I heard. Was it Get Rich or Die Trying? It was either Get Rich or Die Trying or The Game, the documentary was done. The Game, the documentary. It was done in 2 weeks.
That's tight.
It was done in 2 weeks. 50 Cent was hired by Dr. Dre to write for The Game because The Game didn't know how to write and create full structure.
Don't blow my whole spot up like that. I love The Game.
Me too.
Don't blow it up.
But
like
it's not
all 50's bars.
a large majority of it.
So Hater to Love
Even structure, yes.
That's my favorite song for him.
Hater to Love It, 50 wrote the whole structure for that song. And then all The Game had to do was basically like create the character behind it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't know structure. Like he was just like a gang banging hardcore dude. And 50 was like kind of from the same ilk, but just way more refined in terms of writing structured songs.
Yeah, he was a songwriter at that point.
Yeah. So naturally, it's like if you're already cool with M, and then y'all are under Dre, naturally, it's like okay, I'm gonna help the team win in this.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And I think that's also why they had such a big falling out because it's like, bro, if I made you who you were, or at least gave you a level of like pointers to do what you needed to do to be who you are, don't come back and then like try to stab me in the back. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense.
So, yeah, I never understood why they all fell out like that.
Yeah. That was a big part of it. I'm sure there was other shit behind closed doors, but that was
of course. G Unit was huge back in the day, man.
And it's interesting because like most of them are still kind of culturally relevant in different ways. Obviously, 50 has the crown because he's got all the TV shows, and he just finished a tour not too long ago. I think it's called like the Farewell Tour or something like that. But just from watching from the outside and remembering when people had G Unit t-shirts and the G Unit sneakers, I think it was on Reebok. Like that was a crazy run, bro. Crazy era. He had his own vitamin water. Like I think out of all the G Unit people, he was the one that realized how to brand himself the best. Yeah, you know,
and still ended up bankrupt.
Yeah. But then still is rich.
It still made it. That's what trips me out. Is like those dudes that like they end up like finding a level of success, go bankrupt, and then do it again.
Yeah.
I guess it's because you found the roadmap and then you know how to just repeat the process.
Exactly. Yeah. You make a couple bad investments. It doesn't work out in your favor long term. you file for bankruptcy. And I think there's a certain loophole around filing for bankruptcy that, because even Donald Trump filed for bankruptcy at one point in time, right? So,
dude, not to cut you off.
No, it's cool because we're just rapid fire right now.
I just watched Donald Trump's interview on Impulsive. So shout out to fucking Jake Paul and or Logan.
Wait,
Paul.
he did an interview on their pod?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for getting the president on the fucking podcast. Like that wasn't. I was like, okay, I have to watch this. Like obligatory watch, right? I have to watch.
Of course.
And
when are you gonna see this again?
yeah, right. Like, and it was just a trip seeing it like a podcast, like YouTuber just make it all the way to a level like that. Obviously, I'm sure Trump reached out to them, saw an opportunity to reach a younger demographic. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's that, but just to like see a podcast reach a level like that, I was like, hell yeah, good for you guys. Like that's fucking sick.
I mean, look at the range.
Yeah,
they went from pranksters technically to skit guys to professional fighters to UFC, boxing, and now and then they turned their platform into a guest platform, and so now it's like it's crazy to think that. And then mind you, supposedly I don't know if the fight's still going to happen, but you know Jake is supposed to fight Mike Tyson, right? And then they got canceled or rescheduled because, bruh, Netflix is going to make their money. One way or another. They're trying to roll out this live thing for their platform to make them feel even more like television. And I don't think they're going to miss that ticket. That's a big meal ticket.
They have been trying to just kind of beta test that lately. They did it with Kat. They did his live special, which was great. I thought it was great.
You liked it?
I thought it was not top performance for Kat.
Okay.
But it was, I'd give it 75, 80.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a decent score. It's a decent score. Me and my girl couldn't get through it.
You didn't finish it?
No. And I think that's why I hold back my critique.
I would finish it because I think the first half was rough.
Okay.
The second half was a little better.
Yeah.
But I feel you.
It was one of those ones I was like, I'll come back to it, and I just never did. But, you know, respect the Cat. Like, I think I hold him to a certain high regard. And I'm just like, okay, you just did what you did on Club Shay Shay. And then he went on Rogan. And so I'm like, okay, he's rolling out something. Like, he's doing big press for a reason. But not everybody press. It's just like certain little people here and there. Which brings me to another question I wanted to ask you, which I'm sure we probably talked about, but I want to bring it back up because we're in this culture now of like, I think podcasting and streaming platforms have totally made like the radio platforms obsolete to a certain degree. Like, people realize the reach of a person that has 100,000 viewers per click or per episode versus like you might see 1 million on a viral Breakfast Club episode, but most of their shit is like, you know, tailored a certain way. It's very, very much more so a big platform, but like the streamers have taken fucking everything over because everybody's on YouTube. Yeah,
that's what it is.
And nobody's on the radio, like, you know, listening to Power 10 whatever, 0.5, Kiss FM. Like, you know, they're regular civilians that are, you know, but for the most part, bro, our phones and everything with the internet, in my opinion, is kind of taking over. The radio's analog, streaming is digital.
100%. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. I don't know anyone that really listens to like FM, AM shit anymore.
When's the last time you were forced to listen to the radio?
I mean, I've got satellite radio in my car.
That's still digital though.
Still digital.
Yeah, so, you got a satellite.
The last time I
listened, you can go to any station anywhere.
Like tuning into like a station.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I couldn't. A year maybe. The last time I was in someone else's car. I don't know. It's been a while, man.
The last time I did it, and the only reason I remember this is because it was such a weird moment. It's probably 2 weeks ago. Yeah. My phone died. I had nothing to listen to, and I had a very long drive. It was because I had the U-Haul. And I was not about to play music. I can't connect to the U-Haul via Bluetooth. Yeah. So I'm not about to play music off my phone or have headphones in. I'm not one of those people. Like, I feel like driving with headphones in is like the most...
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, bro. Like, when I see somebody having the overhead headphones, I'm like, this person is a serious... Something's wrong with... Yeah, something's wrong with that person. I'm staying far away from them. 2 lanes if I can. But I was forced to listen to the radio, and then... It was just funny going through stations and finding like what stations. I don't even remember what station is which.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I say all that to say it just seems like people are now evolving with their marketing strategies, and the internet is king. So naturally, that just means that the era of going back to the beef, where you would go to the radio to listen to the song that just dropped is dissing your favorite artist over here, and vice versa. Which will also bring me to another thing. When's the last time you went to LA, if you've ever been?
So I went to San Francisco in 2010.
Okay.
That was the last time I was in California.
Cool.
Yeah.
San Francisco is one of those places I've always wanted to skate in, so I'm kind of jealous.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's really like, I look back on it like now and I'm like, did that really happen?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like so like long ago, and like I was so like young. And
You
like,
said 2010?
yeah.
That was 14 years ago.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
It's crazy, like skating across the Golden Gate Bridge.
You what?
Yeah, like shit like that, where I'm just like, I look back on it, I'm like, did that really fucking happen? And like it was a skate trip, like with the church, and so like it was a 20 skaters, so we're all just fucking little hellions, fresh out of high school.
Yeah.
Some of them are still in high school, so they're all just trying to get into shit, And I remember one time it was like middle of the night, we fucking got some saran wrap and saran wrapped a kid to his bed.
Wow.
Like we were like passing it
Dude,
passing it under the bed, pulling it over him while he's sleeping, passing it under the bed, and then we like made like a loud noise to wake him up.
Oh my god!
He like you see him, and we filmed it, and like you see him like try and get up. He's like can't get up because he's like surrounded. Oh, dude, it's so funny. I think about that shit sometimes. I'm just like, God, what the fuck were we thinking? Like. Just fucking
adolescence, man.
Yeah, dude, just stupid shit.
It's awesome. Oh my god! I think the only reason I brought up LA or California was because I feel like this whole thing kind of gave them a resurgence, in terms of like Kendrick Lamar coming and showcasing his skill and ability, and then that it's just like when the Mavericks are winning for a period of time after they had a little dry spell, and then it's like, oh my god, everybody's a Mavericks fan again, or the Cowboys,
like right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Even though they just lost, 3 times?
Hey, shout out to Justin Lyons, though, because he's been doing the national anthem at the playoff games lately.
Shout out to Justin Lyons.
And he was just on the show, like, 2 episodes ago, so yeah, shout out to him.
I really enjoyed that episode.
Dude, he has been fucking killing it at the Mavs game lately.
He's a star, bro.
He's a fucking star.
Honestly, like, I'll just be the one to say it. I know you experienced it in real time, but you put me on to him, right? And I followed him. I was just like, damn. This dude is a fucking star. Like, he's doing it. But he's like one of those people that you can see. Like, if you see a person like that in Target, you're like, that person's different.
Yeah.
I don't know what they do, but they're
There's
different.
a vibe about him.
Yeah. But you can tell he doesn't overdo it, but he knows his ability and potential. And I mean, that was a cool episode. I listened to that at work. And I was just like, damn, I wish I was here for this.
Oh, yeah, me too. I wish you were here. He was super down to earth, and it was really surreal just having him here sitting down talking to me. And then, like, to see him, like, leave here, and the next day he's doing, like, American Airlines Center, and, like, and then has been doing it ever since, like, for the playoff games. It's just been crazy. Like, his guitar sponsor like made 2 custom guitars for him for the playoffs that he's been playing. It's fucking wild, dude. They made like custom shirts for him at the AAC to sell there. It's sick, man.
I like the way he broke down the color orange. I thought that was a cool, between that and the pizza box story, it was 2 memorable nuggets that I really, really enjoyed. And it's funny, bro. Being like into podcasts more, you hold on to your memories, in my opinion, more when it's just vocal audio versus like a whole bunch of extra stuff in the background. Because you're really like in tune with that person or in tune with their experience, and then there's certain things where, I don't know, I'm just a little different cerebral wise, but I'm sure you feel the same way. It's like certain shit's impactful when you can hear it in playback, and then it's in real time. It's not scripted. This is just a person, you know what I'm saying, communicating and being themselves. There's a few episodes I could see recaps of, just as like, you know, friendly reminders of that was a dope episode. You know,
I've thought about doing stuff like that too. Like, hey, you know, this episode didn't get as much shine as I thought it should. You know, like go, maybe check this one out. You know, I've thought about doing stuff like that.
Yeah, even Bob from Square Wave, I'd be thinking about his episode a lot.
Oh, Bart.
Bart.
Yeah. Bart.
No, Bob. Sorry, Bart.
He that was a dope episode actually, and I think we get those older guys on here, those older heads. They got a little more to talk about.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
for sure.
People like Justin who are a little well traveled. A little more to talk about.
Yeah.
A little more substance there.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
That's the kind of people I want to have, and that's why like I've kind of like been reaching for people like that more. Not so much the local heads, just kind of looking for a.
You got to diversify.
Yeah.
Speaking of diversifying, man, like, because I know we got to go through, like, stints where we don't maybe even see each other kick it for periods of time, right? But at the same time, I kind of like that, too. Because then when we come back, it's like, all right, there's mad other stuff going on. And then there's also other ideas, and it's refreshing. Like, have you noticed there's certain podcasts out there that are kind of, like, wavering off because they have to be consistent.
Thank you. Yes, I've noticed this. Yes.
Every fucking week.
Yes. I think. God, glad you brought this up. I think podcasting is slowing down. I think it's slowing down. I think the wave is finally crashing, and I've noticed it. I'm trying to word this right.
Okay.
It got confirmed for me when I was looking at Impulsive's numbers and how often they were posting, because I was following them pretty frequently and they were posting an episode every week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it went to one a month. And that's what that's their vibe now, or that's their schedule they've been on, is one a month. And that's kind of what I've been doing lately, one a month.
Yeah.
And I kind of noticed that's kind of what everybody's been on. And the people that are still doing one a week are only like the juggernauts, like Your Mom's House.
And it's no more than an hour, typically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just don't think people want to listen to long content anymore unless it's like Joe Rogan or the juggernauts.
And there's only so much to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, I think I noticed it, I would say maybe a month or two ago, maybe even before that. But I would listen to two different podcasts, and they would all, like, not the whole episode, but a large portion of it, we're talking about the same topics. And then it's funny because my girl doesn't watch podcasts, but she would talk about the same shit that they were talking about because the Shade Room was also talking about it. So then you got all these people kind of siphoning off the same information, and the only difference is a different voice.
It becomes an echo chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's the same fucking conversation. So I think that's also like a ploy to it, where it's just like, all right, I don't really feel like listening to this person's perspective when I already heard this person's perspective.
Exactly.
And it's a whole hour of content. So I don't know, man. I mean,
that's what makes the Terrence Howard episode so good, and makes the Cat Williams episode, because you're just like, God damn, like, this is refreshing. Like, instead of just hearing like, well, when's your next tour date?
Right.
Well, how'd you come about that song? Or, you know, like,
right.
I think all that kind of podcasting and the interview style is kind of like, people are just over it. Like I said with M, like, I think he's just at a point where he said everything he's had to say.
Right.
And you get to that point where it's just like, I don't have anything else to say.
Do you think if Eminem did a podcast interview, it would break the internet? Because he's such a mysterious kind of like media person.
Yeah. I don't know if it'd break it, but it'd definitely do well, I think. I'd watch it.
I mean, I would too. Because it's like, when are you going to get this again? You know what I mean? And at the same time, I feel like I would only want to see maybe a couple people do it. I wouldn't want him to go on a big platform. Like, I'd want him just to kind of see where he's at now. I want him to sit down with somebody he's already comfortable with and have like a non-scripted conversation. And I think that would maybe even make, I'm not trying to put IP out there, but it would make his current self maybe more relatable, because I don't know. I think somebody was talking about this in another podcast. I don't know what Eminem has been doing. I don't know what he's on. Like, he's in another world of his own, and all rights to you. You know what I mean? If that's what you want to do. But like, how can I relate to you if I don't even know who you are now?
Just drop a random song every now and then.
Yeah. I'm like 20 years removed from Eminem, which is weird to even say. You know what I'm saying? But I just think about that. Like, even with my own shit, how can people relate to me if they're only just hearing the songs that I chopped up and the lyrics I made, but they don't know the person behind that, or even get a chance to interact with that?
Exactly.
You know?
And that's what makes all these like YouTube and like content creators and influencers like really become successful is when you make that change from my content is the content and I am the content. When you make that change in your head from what I do is the content to I am the content.
Yeah.
That's when you notice like that change of like, okay, people are really tuning in. They're not just watching this show, like they're actually watching for me and like what I'm doing and my take on things, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I've noticed with like a lot of people in their show.
We're in the era of that though. It's like people have to not necessarily promote, but just advertise or broadcast them doing just regular shit.
Right. And you find you ride this line of like annoying people and promoting your shit and like, and then you also ride this line of like, why don't you support my shit? I thought we were friends. Like, but then you don't want to be like pushy, but you want to see your friends support you. So it's like, you just ride that fine line, right?
Okay, I agree, but then let me ask you this. How do you feel about the person that you don't talk to that often or rarely, but they'll be in your DMs saying, yo, could you post this on your story? Or like, yo...
Great question. I'm so conflicted on that.
I know. And
I'm so conflicted on that.
Bro, that's why
That's a great question because I'm conflicted because as a like creator, I'm like, I feel you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But then as like a person, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
So,
yo,
I'm conflicted. I'll even say it like Mecca Amon. He's a boxer. He's been on the show before. He hit me up the other day to promote his car wash.
Okay.
And I reposted it because I was like, "You've been on the show. I got you."
That's dope.
Solid for solid, right?
Yeah, of course.
He came on the show. I'll repost your shit for you because you asked me to.
Right.
So if something like that, favor for favor, I got you. But if it's just like a random DM, like, "Hey, will you repost my song?" Maybe. Is it? Here's what I'll do. I'll give it a listen. I will give you that. I will give you the benefit of the doubt, and I will listen to it.
You're gracious.
And like, depending on who it is, right? Depending on who it is. And so like, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
I'm so glad you said that, bro.
Depending on who it is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right? And so like, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Listen to it, and if it's decent, maybe. Because I'm all for supporting people, right?
Of course. I mean, in order to garner support, you have to give support.
Exactly. You got to network.
Yeah, it's a wave. But at the same time, I don't want to just support people blindly, one. And two, I know certain people, even though Instagram is weird because that's like my main platform, I know certain people only come to my page for certain shit. You know, I get more interaction from people when I post food stuff and cooking stuff. It's way more than music. Like,
that's interesting.
By the thousands.
Really?
Yes, bro. And if I had better camera quality,
yeah,
then I might even get way more engagement because people like to see that.
What I've noticed is, hold on, let me turn this back on.
No, you good. You good. Reset.
What I've noticed is, and I think this speaks to like what people should do and how they should make decisions is like find what people enjoy that you do and do it. You know, and when I notice when I post anything about me playing guitar, numbers are way higher than the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know if it's just like people are like, hey, keep the podcast on its own page, you know, homie. Like, we don't need to see it all the time, but when you play the guitar, we fuck with that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's like do what people like and pursue that, and I think you'll be successful.
It's going to sound goofy as fuck, but I've been thinking about doing video game tutorials.
Do it.
Because it's such a sought after thing.
Yeah.
And then, even though I'm not a TikTok user and I'm not, I don't push content on there, the voice on TikTok is stronger sometimes than the visual. So
voiceover?
Yeah. So when somebody voices over their life or their day to day versus just the visual representation of it, that voice is really what's keeping people there. I think that's why we listen to long form content as much as we do, because we actually like to listen to the voices we hear. And I was just like, dang, people already kind of, you know, not to pat myself on the back, but people kind of already told me like compliments about my voice. So why not utilize that more and for content, like walkthrough tutorials for how to do this.
Yeah, dude.
Even the little very small tutorial I did on Lexus Audio Editor, the app I use to sample music. That shit.
Yeah.
People gravitate towards that because A, they use it as a resource to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And then B, it's inspirational. So it's like, it's a double whammy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a great idea.
So that's just some side mission shit that I think would actually probably take over, because no matter what, like, art is subjective. We have thousands of options to listen to for music, so I never expect people to like just type into my music automatically. It's more so something I do for myself anyways.
Right.
But when it's a resource for somebody else, and it's specifically that and done correctly, bruh, I think that's where, the retention is going to be a lot better.
You should do that, dude. I think there's and I'll obviously help you with that if you want, but like, I think that's a really, dude, the video game market, like on YouTube,
it's huge.
It's a no-brainer.
It's huge. I see so much comments. That's the thing, bro. Okay. It's just funny because I'm noticing this more and more. Just looking at the back end of shit, I'll listen to a song that has 1 million plays and then only like 100 comments. Mad likes, but only 100 comments.
Yeah, it's hard to get people to comment, dude. That's the hardest. I
never realized how pulling teeth that is.
People will like, subscribe, but to get someone to comment on something, it takes time to sit there and type out your shit. And if I get any comment on a video, I'm like, woo, touchdown.
Yeah.
So I got someone engaged in commenting. Like, that's a win.
Time out to type.
Yeah.
Because people are lazy and they have so much access to all this shit.
Yeah.
But I see way more comments on walkthrough tutorials, cooking tutorials.
People bantering like back and forth.
Yeah. I mean, even giving you a different opinion or a different point of view of the setup and shit like that. Like, bro, I saw some shit where a dude, he made sushi, but then he put it in the air fryer. And it was like salmon. Yeah, it was weird. I was like, why would you do that, But then everybody in the comments was going crazy on him, like, bro, why would you put the air fryer on 400? You should have put it on, you know what I'm saying? Like, put it on 250 or something like that, just to make it a little textury. Like, but it's a different form of engagement. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's good or bad, engagement is engagement, right?
Exactly.
So I just was like, damn, that's the shit. People are gonna want to engage more, and then when they engage more, you're seen more by people that aren't even subscribed to your content.
Dude, I heard Mr. B say one time when he first, like, I want to say like the first 2 years of his YouTube, he replied to every single comment. And he said after a while it became too much. But he said that he thinks that's what like built his like faithful audience, because they knew they'd get a reply.
Right. Yeah, it's a big deal now. Yeah. Even if it's just a heart by the person that you just.
Dude, I make sure to always at least acknowledge you.
Yeah.
With a heart or reply.
My whole thing is heart, reply, and if I've saved it to a playlist, then I've probably saved it to the playlist before I even interacted with it, because I fuck with it so much. Yeah. But it kind of it's heartbreaking to me when I find songs that are like near and dear, and I know people fuck with it heavy, but it has such little interaction. It might be from a different era, different time period, But I'm just like, I'll go back to songs now, especially on like YouTube Music, because you get to see all of that, and I'm just like, damn. 15 fucking comments, 100 and 1,000 likes.
You're looking at like an old YouTube Vivo page, like.
Oh, Vivo,
dude. How did
was Vivo a scam?
How did they corner the music video market?
Was Vivo a scam?
I don't know. How did they get every music video? How did that happen?
Probably something to do with publishing and marketing.
But they got it on YouTube on their channel. Who's monetizing that?
I mean,
it's gotta be Vivo.
Record labels and Vivo.
And then they pay out to the record label that pays out to the artist.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
And the artist gets a very small percentage of that.
It's wild to me that Vivo has that like cornered. And then, but now you're seeing artists make their own page, and they're like, fuck that.
Yeah, because it's all right. Put it this way. Remember TRL?
Yeah.
Remember the song top 10 song of the week? Those were all basically like partnerships between that publication and the record labels. Sure. So naturally, all the hip hop record labels went to 106 and Park and Big Tigger in the Basement, and it was like a distribution. It was a part of their distribution, right? When it comes to Vivo, I think that was just the internet side of it. in terms of distributing music on their platform. You got the stamp, and that stamp solidifies how
it's like the DVD stamp in the DVD thing. Yeah, I think you're on it. Yeah.
So we look at this shit now because we're on the back end of that, right? But when you're not, and you're just a consumer, you're just thinking, oh, Vivo, okay, cool. It's a more high definition or whatever. Like, it's the stamp, you know what I'm saying? But nobody gives a fuck about that shit no more.
They don't.
If your video quality's fire, the song is relatable.
Exactly.
It don't matter if it's on Vivo or if it's on goddamn whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna track, and that's why I was just like, damn, was that shit a scam the whole time? Because I only see certain artists on Vivo that even put the shit there. Like,
it's the big mainstream artists, like the ones that would be in a publishing deal, like that.
Yeah. I mean, think about when you upload to DistroKid, and then it gives you the option to upload a higher quality audio to this platform, or
like Tidal or something.
Right. Yeah. It's like a second tier. You know what I'm saying? Versus just Audio Mac, Spotify, Apple Music.
I got in an argument. I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I fuck with it.
I got in like not an argument, but like a banter the other day with people about like Spotify audio versus Apple audio.
Yeah.
And Apple audio is better. Like it has better frequencies and everything. And this guy like started pulling out fucking, the human ear can't even process frequencies over 20,000. And I was just like, bro, like,
oh, really?
I don't want to sit here and argue with you. Like, I know that it's better. Like they call their audio lossless audio because it doesn't lose any frequency.
Right. Based off of the upload and the compression of that audio.
Exactly. I was just like, dude, I'm not even gonna bother this conversation.
That's the type of person that doesn't want to even try to understand where you're coming from because they already have it set in their mind that this is the best shit.
I was just like, man, why you just want to argue with me? Like, come on.
Yeah. It's hard for me to argue with people that I'm not an owner of the shit that we're arguing about,
right,
and I don't have any horse in the game. You know
so
what I'm saying?
You don't have an iPhone, so you're obviously Spotify, right?
No.
What do you listen to music on?
YouTube
Music. Okay. And see, that's even better than Spotify.
Really?
Spotify has the shittiest frequency of music quality out.
Shittier than SoundCloud?
Probably not. Probably not. You probably got me there. But it just trips me out when I hear all these people that they're just like, oh, Spotify.
I never understand the full Spotify users. I never. Like, when people send me Spotify links, I'm like, is it available on YouTube?
Yeah.
Because I have Spotify.
So the only reason
I don't use it like that.
The only reason I have it is because our podcast is on it.
Same.
And that's just so I can monitor it and check on it. And
yeah, I need the link in order to put it on DSPs.
That's it, so I can look official, right?
Yeah, that's it. I don't outside of that, I don't have a premium account. I can't remember the last time I did.
No.
And the reason why I stick to YouTube over everything else is because of accessibility. Like, there are certain songs I want to hear the extended version of that song, and that's not available on Apple or Spotify. Like, I was thinking the other day, and I was talking to my girl about it. I was like, what do you think about this? Like, a DJ set where you have the sample play, and then the song that actually sampled it, that turned into a major hit, play right afterwards. And, you know, you just go through that set. So, like, you might hear... It's crazy because a lot of...
Like a sample set? Is that what you're saying?
Like, yeah, a sample set. So, cool. Yeah, so, like, you know how you...
Like music heads? That's cool.
Exactly. I think for music heads, motherfuckers that are really into the shits, it's like, oh, shit. Like, you're playing the sample, you give it about 15, 30 seconds of spinning, and then you drop the shit.
Just enough for you to recognize it?
Yeah. I think that would be fun, man. Even just to do it digitally, like, I think that would be a dope concept.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes me want to get some turntables, too. I honestly want to... This year... All right, and I want to talk about this, too. What is something that you want to invest in for yourself, for your dream, for whatever the fuck you've been looking at or thinking about this year, that you have to do it this year or else you're never going to do it? And that's the caveat.
You're never going to do it. And see, I feel like I just made one of those decisions at work. When I turned down a creative job to keep doing my plumbing job, I feel like I just made one of those decisions of like, did I just make a life decision? Did I just did I just not take this creative job and like that could have led to other things, and I just went with the comfortable thing? I've been asking myself that lately. Did I take the easier route out? But what was your question?
Something that you have to invest in for yourself. That if you don't do it this year, you're probably never gonna do it.
I got it. I need to really buckle down on like guitar playing.
Okay.
Because like I feel like I'm at that point where it's like you're either gonna become just a bedroom musician the rest of your life, or you're at a point where you have enough connections and like you could pursue something if you wanted to, even if it's just a side hustle.
Right.
I feel like I'm at that point. So it's like, do I sit here and waste time? And like, because I'm getting old, right? Almost 35, I'm 33. So once you get to that point of like adult, people don't take you as seriously as a musician, and you just become like a open mic or bar musician unless you're like substantially good, you know? So I don't know. I feel like clock's kind of ticking for me on that aspect.
Interesting.
You know? So I feel like I just really want to like kind of buckle down and like, okay, to wrap all that up, I want to produce my own music.
Okay.
That's what I'm getting at. Is
cool.
Like I want to like start recording myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm always producing things for other people, or like I've always done like collaboration projects. I've never done something like a solo project. So
Really?
I think I want to do like a solo project.
I think you should.
I think I should too. I think I'm at that point now.
I look at you like the guy that has like a house full of guns and you never go to the range.
Thank you. I feel that way. And
I'd be mad.
I feel that way.
I'd be mad.
I feel that way.
Bro, because we're opposites in that spectrum. You know that, right? Like,
I feel that
like
way.
I only have my phone, my headphones, my Bluetooth speaker, and a surround sound system.
Dude,
and that's it. I don't have a computer.
I just had this.
I have a laptop,
Yeah.
but it's not a fucking processing computer. Like it's some bullshit. I'm not even gonna put the name.
Chromebook.
Nah, worse.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking Chromebook actually, but it's
Those are meant just to browse the internet.
very exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like an upgraded tablet.
Yeah.
But I fully think that you should do that, bro. Not just for you, but just for your talent.
Yeah.
Like, because you're fucking talented, G, and you have
That's what I'm saying.
all the guns.
That's what I'm saying.
You got all the guns you need,
walked
and you got hired guns that if you want to do some co-op mode
Exactly.
shit, you can do
Exactly.
that. Like you got, you know, man.
I'm saying. I've got the people to reach out to. Like I got you, I got
You
Connor,
got the
I
studios, you
I'm
got
saying, dude.
everything, bro. Like,
Yeah. So I think it's time. I think it's finally time to just kind of like buckle down on my own shit and kind of like maybe make my own music. Figure out drums, because that's kind of the big step for me. Is
Hurdle.
Like, the hurdle is like I don't know how to play drums, and I need drums to play guitar, and like so I don't want to just start taking backtracks off of stuff, and like I want to produce original content, and so like drums is the first hurdle, right? Once I get over that, it's game fucking on.
yeah.
I think that to answer your question, it'd be that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But you're right though, dude. Get bugs the shit out of me. I walk in here sometimes in the studio, and I'm like, you got all this fucking equipment, and you ain't made a lick of music. Like,
I don't understand. I mean, the Marshall's got dust on it. Like,
it's got dust on it,
it's
dude.
got dust on it. I'm like, damn, you ain't turned that knob in a minute, boy. Like, this shit's on the same setting it was 2 months ago.
It is. It is. No, you're 100% right, dude. And honestly, like, I felt like for a long time I hadn't had the time to do something like that, because like with the podcast, and then I took on that second podcast. There just wasn't time to do that. But
Plus, you're a family man too.
Yeah.
It's different.
So I think like just coming home and kind of like maybe piecing a song together at a time, a little bit at a time. Because like I'll noodle around on the guitar and like make a riff and then forget it.
You don't ever record demos?
Never. I just noodle around and forget riffs. You know that old Connie line? I forgot better shit you ever wrote. I live by that. I live that line. I forgot better shit you ever wrote. Like,
Damn.
I'm telling you, dude.
That's
like
a bar.
It is, right? It is. I love that. That's my favorite Kanye line.
That's a bar. The reason why I brought that up was because I was thinking about the whole, you know, the other podcasts and all the other things, and then how you're saying now you have more time to put it into yourself or put into
Right.
the business, and it's like sometimes we just need those reminders. Like, okay, what's the next thing I need? Like, for me, to answer my own question, I need to invest in a camera. I need to invest in a preamp, and then eventually a desktop.
Okay.
I can get a fucking nice little table from Goodwill for the low.
Sure.
Right? But I want to invest in the equipment before I put it all on the table. And the reason why that is because, like, I was hearkening back to people seeing the process, people seeing what you do, how you do it, in order to really appreciate the final aspect of it. It's like, okay, I need to be able to just set up a camera on a tripod like you have it set up, or invest in like a couple different cameras that are, you know, a little bit lower quality, but just enough to capture the element of it. Because I think that's why VHS became a big thing like 10 years ago, in terms of like people liking that grainy texture and that aesthetic behind the music, and even just like the bad shots that lined up with the music enough to make it palatable and fucking cool. So if people can see that, and with the preamp, I saw a video on YouTube where a dude had a preamp connected to his phone that was connected to everything else, and he literally was running like BandLab through a preamp.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then his mic could get plugged into the preamp and everything, so it made the sound amplified like 20 times better. I thought I was doing some Batman shit with just having a fucking USB adapter that could connect to a USB mic that could connect into my phone. This motherfucker had the shit on another level, and I was just like, oh, and it sounded crispier, way better, you know? So I was just like, okay, versus getting these demos and doing it, and then taking it to a studio and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, why not go full throttle and just fucking do everything to the best of your ability with the tools that you need to do it? Because you already know what you want your shit to sound like. You don't really need, I mean, I like working with other people and other engineers and shit, but personally, like, I've gotten to that level, and I've met and worked with other people that I've realized, like, I can do that shit too. Yeah. And I know I have way more patience with creating and refining something sound-wise than the person I'm paying $50 an hour, and I'm only doing a 4-hour block max. Yeah. You know, like, it doesn't take, and it sucks because, like, it's like going to a construction site and telling the construction worker, this is what you need to be doing, and this is how you need to lay the shit out. Yeah. That motherfucker does that every day. Yeah. But I'm hired. You know what I'm saying? I hired them for that period of time, but they take it as a slight because they're like, motherfucker, I'm a pro at this shit.
This is what I do.
Yeah, you're just enlisting me for a couple of hours, but I do this shit every day. Right. So fuck out my face. Like, and I had to learn it the hard way from working with other engineers.
You're a good producer in your own right, though.
I'm decent, but I know there are better people out there. So I always...
But that's what makes, I think, that right there, knowing where you stand. Yeah. And knowing that there is better people out there will take you a long way.
Oh, for sure.
Because if you don't know where you stand, you're going to start making bad judgment calls and treating people differently and thinking you're something
thinking
you're
it's
not.
Hot shit.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's how I feel about my guitar playing, too, is like I know I'm not like up here, but I know I'm decent. Yeah. I know I can hang is a thing. Is I can hang with a band. I can hang with an artist. Right. But I'm not like an exceptional like guitar player by any means. Like Justin. You know, I'm not a fucking star like that dude. Like, that dude's a fucking star. Yeah. So, knowing where you are, knowing where you stand is very valuable.
It's very important, man. And then I know what I'm missing out on. Like, I know if I did a little bit more here and there and created more content, but on a professional level that meets with how much I craft and refine the shit that it's audible, it's like, those two worlds have to collide in order for it all to make sense. And so that's what I need to invest more personally in. It's just fucking camera and really my time. I would say this, like, because you don't get that shit back, right? So naturally, if I don't do this shit now with the time that I have, I'm never going to fucking do it, bro. I live around too many Cash Americas, and I done went in them shits. So you like the Cash Americas, they're like the Goodwill for the electronic dudes. I realized that. So you can find a regular TV, but it's like a 70-inch for like $150.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a monitor system for your fucking setup. Then on top of that, you can go over here. There's vinyl record players. There's also preamps. There's mics. Like, and then you have guns on the right-hand side. So it's just about everything that you could possibly need.
Yeah.
And I told myself this. I was like, man, if you got the money to invest it and you got the time to do it, fucking do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, don't stop dreaming about it. You know what I'm saying? Because what the fuck is the point? And going in circles in your own mind.
Yeah, dude.
When you could just go straight to the destination. And I encourage you, bruh, to do that shit. You know I got you when it comes to anything, especially audio related.
Oh, I know that.
You know I got you, bro. I can show you how to chop up a demo right now on some real shit, like on your phone or my phone. You know what I'm saying?
And let's do it afterwards.
And when we of course, and we transfer it. But even just how many guns you got in here?
Fucking 5.
5 guns.
Yeah.
5 guns. Okay, 5 guns, infinite ammo.
In the house, yeah.
Infinite ammo, no cheat codes. We shooting today.
Yeah.
So that being said, man, this has been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And this is why you should always stay tuned into What's Up With That, because it's all fucking real shit, no filler, no fluff, genuine conversation between me and my boy and other people. And
I like these little catch-up episodes, man.
Oh, they're the best.
I feel like our audience kind of like gets to see me do a couple solo shows and like interview a few people.
Yeah.
And then you come back, we kind of catch up on it and talk about it, and it's just like a little catch-up, and I think it's good for me and you and our audience too, just to kind of
1,000%.
recap everything that's been happening lately and like let everyone know like kind of where we're at with everything.
Yeah. And then also it shows, in my opinion, it's a cool timeline, like
exactly
of events. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we are the content, like we talked about.
Right.
You know, so letting people know about our life a little bit, I think, kind of it's helpful. You know, you get to know the guy a little bit behind the mic and camera.
it breaks the third wall.
Yeah.
It breaks the third wall, and I think that shit's dope, personally. But yeah, man, we got a lot more content coming out, and I really want to talk about merch for like off camera.
We need to. Yeah, that's been a thing that's been needed to happen since day one, and it's just kind of been pushed to the side just for financial reasons and like.
Understandably so. But also, you want to make sure you invest in the right shit, right quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I got a lot of ideas for that when it comes to.
I'd love to talk to people like Lindsay.
Yes.
You know, he seemed like the right guy to talk to. I see the shades.
Yeah, he's on it, bro. He's on it. He's doing a lot of other shit right now in terms of like insurance and investing and things of that nature. But he's still on his clothing line heavy, you know. Yeah. And I got ideas.
I like to see that when people have their creative side hustle and their main hustle.
Oh yeah.
You know, I like that.
Oh yeah, and I want to support those people. You know what I'm saying? Even to further more add to the community that we're already contributing to. You know, I think that's important, man. But this has been dope, bro.
Yeah.
This has been dope. Got to shout out Liquid Death. This is Bury It Alive.
Yeah, dude, I got you a mango one down there if you want.
Nice, I saw that.
That's the berry one. It's been pretty good.
I saw it. No, it was dope. It was dope. Yeah. It was very, very dope. All right, before we close out,
what you got?
One thing that the people need to be looked forward to for the next episode or next broadcast.
Man, so I'm still, you know, I'm constantly hitting people up just to get on the show, and I got another. I know I've been doing like some guitar-based things lately, and that kind of seems to be hitting. A lot of people react with that. A lot of the guitar friends seem to like that one. So I've got another pretty heavy hitter guitar one that I'm working on. We're going back and forth in the DM, so y'all kind of keep out for that one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna name any names yet, but
okay. No, that's
might have another little banger guitar episode coming out.
Nice. It's good to leave the mystique. Personally for me, man, I got a 2-side EP that I've been working on for the past few months, and basically like I'm planning on dropping 2 separate projects, but it's a part of the same project. It's just one side and the other side. I started working on the first side last year. Second side has been probably at the top of this year, and now that it's practically done demo-wise and everything, I'm just going back and refining. So
these are songs you've been working like with PD and like things you've been showing me, like all this stuff.
Yeah. A lot of the shit with PD is gonna be on side A.
Okay.
And side B is gonna be all the shit I made by myself. And basically, like, I might go in the studio to re-record vocals and make it sound a little bit more refined, but for the most part, it's all production by me. 2 different styles, 2 different vibes, but all the same story. And I don't have a release date, none of that shit. That's what I've been focused on, and probably the
That's what
next
you're working
thing.
on.
Yeah, that people are gonna hear from me.
Fuck yeah. Well, y'all be sure to look out for Nymbus' stuff, and I'll keep feeding what I can to y'all when I can. And y'all be you, we're gonna be us.
Peace.
Later.